The Zerathi hunting pack moved through the abandoned station like liquid death, their obsidian carapaces reflecting the emergency lighting in hellish patterns. Each creature stood 9 feet tall, with razor-sharp limbs that could slice through, titanium alloy, and acid that could dissolve quantum steel. They were the apex predators of known space, until today. Commander Elena Vasquez pressed herself against the bulkhead, her breathing shallow as she watched the lead Zerathi pause at the junction ahead. The creature's triangular head swiveled with mechanical precision, its multiple eyes scanning for prey. Behind her, the last 3 survivors of Research Station Omega-7 waited in terrified silence. The Zerathi were methodical hunters. Once they caught a scent, they never stopped, never showed mercy, never left survivors. In 2 centuries of galactic expansion, no sentient species had successfully negotiated with them. They were pure predator, evolution's perfect killing machine. Elena's hand moved to her sidearm, knowing it was useless. Standard plasma rounds barely scratched their armor. She'd watched her entire security team get torn apart like paper dolls. The evacuation ships had already fled, leaving them stranded with these nightmares. The lead Zerathi's head snapped toward their hiding spot. It had found them. "Stay behind me," Elena whispered to Dr. Chen, Engineer Rodriguez, and young Ensign Park. The creature approached with predatory grace, its claws extending with wet clicks. Behind it, 2 more emerged from the shadows. Elena stepped into the corridor, raising her weapon despite knowing its futility. The Zerathi towered over her, close enough that she could smell its acrid musk and hear the wet sounds of its breathing apparatus. Its eyes, 6 black orbs arranged in a triangle, focused on her with alien hunger. She should have fired. Should have gone down fighting like her training dictated. Instead, something made her speak. "You're beautiful." The words came out barely above a whisper, but in the station's silence, they carried. The Zerathi froze mid-stride, its head tilting at an impossible angle. Behind it, the other 2 hunters stopped as well, their killing posture faltering. Elena found herself staring into those alien eyes, seeing something she'd never expected. Intelligence. Not just predatory cunning, but deep ancient awareness. "I mean it," she continued, her voice growing stronger. "I've studied xenobiology for 15 years, and I've never seen anything like you. The way you move, it's like watching death dance. Perfect evolutionary adaptation. You're probably the most successful predator in the galaxy." The Zerathi's head straightened slowly. A sound emerged from its throat. Not the hunting shriek she'd heard before, but something softer, almost curious. Elena took a cautious step forward. "We call you the Zerathi, but what do you call yourselves?" The creature's breathing changed. Its claws, still extended, trembled slightly. When it spoke, the sound was like grinding metal filtered through an organic throat. "Kethmaran," it said. "We are Kethmaran." "Kethmaran," Elena repeated, struggling with the pronunciation. "That's beautiful too. What does it mean?" The creature, the Kethmaran, was silent for a long moment. When it spoke again, its voice carried something Elena had never heard from their species before: uncertainty. "It means, those who hunt to remember." "Remember what?" Before the hunger. Before the killing became all we knew." The Kethmaran's head drooped slightly. "We were not always this. Once we built cities, made art, loved our young." Elena felt her heart racing, but not from fear anymore. "What happened?" "War. Our son died. We fled to the dark between stars. Found only hunger, only prey. Forgot everything else." The creature's voice carried an impossible weight of sorrow. "For 700 cycles we have hunted, but no one ever spoke to us. No one ever saw us as anything but monsters." Behind Elena, she heard Dr. Chen's sharp intake of breath. The xenobiologist was recording everything, she realized. This moment would change everything humanity knew about the Zerathi, about the Kethmaran. "You're not monsters," Elena said softly. "You're survivors. You adapted to an impossible situation. But adaptation isn't permanent. You can choose to be something else. The lead Kethmaran looked at its companions, then back at Elena. We have forgotten how to be anything else. Then maybe, Elena said, we can help you remember. The silence stretched between them, human and alien, prey and predator, two species standing at the edge of something unprecedented. Finally, the Kethmaran retracted its claws. You would do this, after we have killed so many of your kind? Elena thought of her dead crew, of all the colonies that had fallen to Kethmaran hunting packs. Then she thought of 700 years, of enforced savagery, of a species that had forgotten its own name for civilization. Yes, she said, because that's what humans do. We find the impossible and make it possible. The Kethmaran stepped back, then performed what Elena somehow recognized as a bow, ancient muscle memory from a more civilized time. I am Vexhan, hunt leader of the Crimson Pack. We will not hunt in this system again. The creature paused. Perhaps we can learn to remember together. As the three Kethmaran melted back into the shadows, Elena realized she'd just witnessed something unprecedented in galactic history. The deadliest predators in known space had been stopped not by superior firepower or cunning tactics, but by something uniquely human, the ability to see potential for redemption in the most unlikely places. Dr. Chen emerged from hiding, his scanner still recording. Commander, do you realize what just happened? Elena smiled, still watching the empty corridor where gods of death had stood moments before. Yeah, we just made friends with the boogeyman. And in the depths of space, for the first time in 7 centuries, a Kethmaran hunting pack remembered what it felt like to choose mercy over murder, because a human had chosen to see the being behind the monster.